I know so many attorneys that are unhappy, and whether or not they are prosecutors or defense attorneys or public servants or private practice. You're right. The practice of law is inherently full of conflict. It's inherently stressful, whether it's stress because of colleagues or stress because of adversaries or the judge or clients or, if you're in private practice, collection, all of it.
It's all of it.
It's all consuming.
And both. It's all of it.
How can either a young lawyer or a lawyer that's been doing it a long time find that peace, and at what point in time does a person really, and this goes for any person who's in any field, how do you know when it's not for you and when you need to make a change in your career? Or is it about making an internal change and the external will flow from there? What are your thoughts on that?
You're speaking my language, right? If you read my book, the internal and the external is big for me. So to answer the first part of your question, I do not believe that coming at it from a place of external, I have to get out today and that'll fix everything is the way to do it. And quite frankly, the place that I recommend lawyers and non-lawyers start. And the place that I got it wrong for a long time is this idea that there's some, cure to it or a transition out of the law or some other profession is necessarily the answer. I actually think, quite frankly, that sitting with your discomfort, and if it's your dissatisfaction or your pain and your suffering, your sadness, your frustration, all of it, sitting with it is the place to start. So rather than running from it and maybe to the next thing that isn't the fit that's going to feed your soul, it's sitting with it. And so I battled that for a long time. Being a trial lawyer, like, it's baked into who I am, right? A lot of what I do now, my listening skills, my problem solving skills, how I interact with people and help them advocate, for themselves and those around them. They're all lawyer skills, right? And I draw upon them all the time, and they're maybe the most meaningful, dependable part of my skill set when I do, transformational coaching, when I wrote the book, when I speak, all of it. So for me, certainly the levels of, conflict and crisis and emotional deregulation that you have to deal with when you do the kind of litigation that I did is something to be really aware of and recognize the impact it can have. And it was running toward that or leaning into it that ultimately kind of unlocked the best lawyer that I could have possibly been, and, the back half of my career leaning into all that made me more authentic and more accessible to clients and jurors and judges and everybody around me. And of course led me to, to a path out of the law, but I think it's because I leaned into the challenges. And so I recommend that for anybody, whether it's in the law or outside the law, is sit with the stuff that's really causing you to feel the reactivity that I got to get out. And you may need to transition and may need to get out, but ironically, I think the answer oftentimes begins, or the process of finding your way begins by sitting with it.